Hello guys, yes, I know it's been like a while, probably a week since I posted a video, a review of any type or something, and I'm here to tell you, wait, hold up, okay, that was just a notification, I can't see, I took my glasses off. I I have a few reviews I have to do, but the thing is I started working on 2 books that I have to release this month and next month, so that's why I've been kind of like not online. Which sucks because, you know, once you start your momentum on YouTube, it's like you have to keep that momentum up or else you're gonna like lose your momentum. But of course, this is me just trying to like let you guys know I'm alive, as well as I actually have a topic to talk about. Oh my God, a topic outside of books. So I was, look at me looking all over again, searching for my thoughts. It's morning. I have like work in like what, an hour. So basically, I was online and I, despite having my company having a cover artist who I appreciate a lot, I love looking for cover art. Cover art literally, legitimately is like one of my favorite parts of the book process. Outside of writing, formatting, you know, outside of the writing, the cover. Like I jump all the editing, formatting, all that extra stuff, and then I just go straight to like looking for a cover. For me, sometimes even a cover will inspire what I do. I'm more inspired by outside stuff than I am like writing, but then in writing I just put my own twist on it. So I was just, you know, strolling through my Facebook looking at you know, just, you know, not writing, of course, taking a break from writing, and I saw this cover for a story, and it's part of like a sci-fi series, and it's like a series where like basically different writers are each writing a book, but like all the covers correlate because it's like a collection of stories in the same universe but different writers. And I believe the lady's name is Reginald Allen or Reginald L. I'll put her name at the bottom because I got to read her book because the cover is so beautiful. And the cover was like of like a black female, and it's like her with like glacier eyes, and she has like a male's face made of ice like staring up at her while she's looking like deeply into the future, I guess. And I was like, oh my God, that is a beautiful fucking cover. Where the hell did you get that? So of course I'm like, okay, so how am I gonna contact someone I have no relationship with, I've never met, and I've never read any of her books, but this cover has got me all the way fucked up. So then I literally was like, okay, I'm inboxing her. So I press on her name and then I just send her a message like, look, I don't know who you are, I don't know what your book's about, but your cover is beautiful. And I did this yesterday before I was like going to bed. I was like, you know what? Let me hit her up real quick and just tell her how beautiful her cover is. And she was like, she responded, and I was like, but I was not going to open my eyes because again, it was like 12 o'clock. And I was like, I can hear my phone going off, but I'm asleep now. So I'm going to remain asleep until I wake up. So then the next morning I woke up, which is this morning, and I saw her message and she was like, oh, thank you. You're so sweet. The person who made it is this woman's husband. He's a cover designer, and she asked him or begged him or whatever if he could, you know, do the covers for their series for all the authors. And I was like, yes. And we were just going back and forth. It was real genial. It was really like, you know, hey, I love your stuff. I'm going to check your book out. Because obviously, you know, it's kind of like, I'll check your book out because, you know, I asked you a question. And it's not like what they call bribery or anything like that. It's just that naturally as an author, if you ask another author a question that you don't really know a lot about, you can get to know a lot about them by reading their book. That's why a lot of authors kind of get irritated when people contact them with questions or almost demands. And it's like, you don't know who I am. You don't know my writing style. You don't even know what I write. You know, so I of course I of course checked out her website to look up like who is she, what she writes. You know, it's just polite to get a little bit of a background on the person before you inquire or ask them questions. It's just common decency, I believe. But what I wanted to do, which this leads into 4 minutes, and okay, I told you I don't have my glasses. So this leads into the conversation about asking authors for advice between author relationships and how you should control yourself on social media. And I think I touched on this a bit when it came to the review situation. And so I wanted to just talk a bit about some of the drama you see between authors is not the norm. Quite frankly, I feel like, especially if you're just breaking into the field, you have to have a certain modicum a certain modicum of humility, because especially because there's some people you'll be talking to and you won't even realize they've been in this field for like 10, 12 years and they've been steady bestsellers. So while of course the bestseller tag doesn't automatically make someone super, super amazing, it makes them awesome, but it doesn't mean you have to like kiss ass or anything. But there is just, I think, a stable level of niceness that you can have. Like, first of all, if you do go into someone's inbox and you do ask them for some advice or you do ask them for some help, make sure you respect the advice they give you. I know some people go into their authors have mentioned several times, someone has come into their inbox, someone has emailed them, and instead of being humble, like, here, I want to learn this from you, can you give me some advice, they get angry and upset if they hear something they don't like, which is not, of course, the appropriate reaction one should have when they're coming to someone for questions. I mean, I might not take your advice, but I will tell you, I'm like, thank you for your advice, but I think I still am interested in doing this. That is just how I feel like one should react. Now, of course, I've once said that to someone and they reacted with, well, I am a professional author and I'm just telling you this won't work. And I'm just kind of like, thank you. Again, I'm not saying that I refuse to take your advice. I'm heeding your advice. I'm taking your advice. I'm just telling you that I think I'll experiment still. I think while you should take advice from people and you should heed it and like put it in your file of advice, you should also you should also take chances and make mistakes on your own, because you won't learn anything if you never experiment. So I think both ways, both fields, both levels, all levels should respect each other and have the common decency to treat each other with respect. Because again, while an author is an author, authors are like, I think, a weird public figure, because while we are public figures, our nature is probably a little bit more introvert than extrovert, because again, writing is such a lone field. Like, you sit down, it's you and the computer, or you and your tablet, or you and your writer pad, and you are sitting down and you're writing. It's such a solo deal that when it comes to being a public figure, you're still basically solo and you have to send an impression out. It doesn't mean people aren't sincere and they're not like themselves, but there's such a like, okay, well, now I'm gonna be in my mind now, so you can back off. Very opinionated, while not outspoken, but very opinionated. So that is something I like to point out. Again, me leaning forward like 7:48. Look at me. I barely make a face. Obviously no sleep. She's a nun. Okay, anyway. So of course, this leads to the next topic, which is, what is the next topic? I'm so beautiful. I can't see, so I can't tell. I'm gonna live in a delusion of being beautiful. So anyway, if you are interested in asking advice from an author or someone you see, like from editors to PAs to formatters to all these little different companies and stuff, be polite. It will win you so much. Like, it will give you good responses. And it's like, not every time you reach out to someone will they reach back out to you. Sometimes people will be like, I'm not answering that. If an author's not interested in you, they won't answer most of the time. So it saves you a whole lot of rudeness and issues. Outside of that, again, like I said, my new book, Dusk 2, is coming out, as well as a secret project I'm working on. I'm working on that. Got 15K last night. So fucking happy about that. Of course, this weekend I will be trying to get back into doing all my reviews. Of course, I could just kind of like pick a story, be like, yeah, I loved it, and not read it, but I'm not that kind of fake reviewer, so I'm going to actually read the book and actually tell you guys what I think about it. There's been several requests. There's a lineup already. Again, I was trying to imply that I would do a lot of interracial BWWM. I got a request to do a book that wasn't BWWM or interracial, and from now on, I'm going to try to stick to doing interracial romances, and it doesn't even have to be romance. If the main character is a black female, I will read it. If the main character is not a black female, I personally probably won't do a review. If you guys are interested in me reviewing any of those books back there, I will gladly do so. They are all my favorites. I have no favorites. Elizabeth. I mean, my favorite, if I had to say my favorite writer, Elizabeth Boyle and Elizabeth Hoyt and Alyssa Kleppas, which is 3. But that doesn't matter. So, yeah. So this post was just a very brief post about, you know, how reaching out to authors in a polite manner will get you a lot. And it got me a name. It got me a cover group. It got me so much more than if I had been rude. So...